Oh, the Webster. Just when we thought we were done with her, she brings us back in with her charisma, all the charms of the cast. I mean, two specific examples of the cast and the fact that everybody's dunking on it. Or perhaps maybe this was always the way. She foresaw that the film was going to be such a disaster that the best way for people to continue to joke and talk about it was to simply create not a compelling marketing campaign, but a very interesting online campaign, okay, where you have, obviously, like we talked about it before with Sydney Sweeney in her opening monologue when she was hosting Saturday Night Live, making an obvious swipe that Madam Web, nobody's seeing it. Hell, she even mentioned it as such. She was wearing a white dress. Like, how many costume changes did they do? And why is it that everybody's smiling in the back except for the... Anyways, what about the rest of the cast and crew? Okay, because there are a couple of other spooter women that are out there who have, well, obviously they don't have the same type of marketing assets that the likes of Sydney Sweeney does. I guess they're stars in their own right. Like the black chick, the name escapes me. Sorry, she hasn't said anything or been linked to anything before, so kind of irrelevant. I guess she just kind of wants to, just to wipe this from memory, so hopefully it doesn't affect her career too badly. But Isabela Merced, who's apparently also a singer or something like that, I don't know. Is she just big business in a Hispanic country or something like that? I don't know. I don't listen to modern music. No, I don't even watch modern media. I just laugh at the dumpster fire that it actually is. So she got attributed this quote, which I tried to find the source document, and as many other people have pointed out, this looks like it's probably fake. Is it something that she's thinking? We don't know, but to attribute the fact that she's trying to run out the same old tired shtick that Isabela Merced says Madam Web failed for one simple reason, for the same reason the Marvels or Birds of Prey have failed, because the male audience still hides a deep contempt for everything that is starring strong, independent women. Yes, the Peruvian, the actress of Peruvian origins praises James Gunn, says that she just accepted to be Hawkgirl in Superman Legacy. So yeah, she's had such a traumatic experience with superheroes, she decided to just go ahead and accept a role in a different superhero franchise. But as many people have pointed out, that is absolutely inaccurate. You can just go ahead and try to find it yourself, and if there's any way to attribute this back to her, there's Box Office Mexico. It's just simply linking out to another Facebook post. So yeah, did she say this? Absolutely not, because we've seen her before, poke fun at the game, okay, because there she is from her Instagram profile, okay, tweeting out the meme, roses are red, our fates are tied, he was in the Amazon with my mom researching spiders right before she died. So she was already, this was just before the release of the film. The movie came out on Valentine's Day, and that's obviously one of those old hack Valentine's Day cards that you would take to school and trade with other people, but obviously a joke. It's making fun of the situation. But if she didn't say that, why would she also tweet out, post on Instagram? It's just we're using Twitter because I'm not a 14-year-old girl or some e-thought trying to funnel market you to the links in the bio, so I don't use Instagram like that. But not long after all of that fake interview stuff started to pop off, she tweets out the whole, oh, you guys need media literacy card. Like, what does this have to do with anything? Like, what are you doing out there? It's like, no. The Madam Web was always supposed to be bad because I'm the one who has the ability to criticize, analyze stories presented in the mass media and to determine their accuracy or credibility. Why can't you just have fun with it? Okay, like Madam Web is a disaster. Every appreciable metric shows it is, if not the worst, one of the worst superhero films, not just simply from a performance standing, but from a construction, from toes to titties, Sydney Sweeney not included. It's been a cataclysmic failure, so laugh along with it. Just come out and say, I didn't make those statements. I don't know who made this stuff up, man. I just take the lead of the rest of your co-stars that are out there, okay? Because there's bigger fish to fry when it comes to this, because the fake stories that are around it, and for all the shade that has been thrown on top of it, and then also the mass media trying to run cover for big corporation as they're wont to do, you can go ahead and just continue to dig their grave even deeper. They were out there trying to say that, oh no, Dakota Johnson doesn't hate Madam Web, and now they're trying to run defense for, what Sydney Sweeney was saying, that does not reflect poorly on Sony. Please don't stop our access to your upcoming films, you bunch of sycophants. She definitely left me on red. Dakota Johnson ignored her Madam Web co-stars, including Sydney Sweeney, as fans notice a disturbing pattern. Oh wow, all of a sudden now you start to notice a disturbing pattern? There's been a lot of chatter surrounding Dakota Johnson's Madam Web, and very little is positive. On top of the horrible reviews and the critics and the underwhelming fan response. Oh no, it's been an overwhelming fan response. It's mostly just been the commentary over the top of the film and the memes that have come out of it. So there's been a pretty good fan response, if we're going to keep it a buck. Well, there's very few films that have come out earlier this year that have that same level of memeability. Argyle was an even bigger flop than Madam Web. But nobody's memeing on that. That was just a dumpster fire that's just going to go down as like, wow, oof, they spent $300 million on that, and it's what? Has it even cracked 100 million? Like it's atrocious. It's real bad. Anyways, film finds itself amid yet another scandal. Recently, the other supporting cast, including Sydney Sweeney, Isabela Merced, and Celeste O'Connor. Right. I thought that was the name of her character in the movie, Celeste O'Connor. She's black. She's one of them black Irish, I guess. Revealed some interesting information about Madam Web herself. Oh, the Webster! Okay, something that has raised a few eyebrows. It was revealed by the stars that Johnson had left all of them on scene. Oh no, doesn't care about the product, but no, she didn't hate her experience on the set. No, of course, that's just a lie, though. That's just right-wing trolls online that are pointing that very obvious fact out. It would seem that the actress made no effort to bond with her co-stars. Why? Because she always looked so warm. Well, not from her dress on the red carpet, because that looked awfully breezy. She looked incredibly stiff and wooden. Then again, I just thought that was her general resting disposition. This has prompted speculation that Johnson may have not enjoyed her time on the set as much as she would like fans to think, and there is more than enough evidence to back this theory. No, that was a wild conspiracy theory to just point out that Dakota Johnson might not just be aloof in regards to this project. She just might be one of the most insufferable people in Hollywood, and now we're just finally bringing this to light because the media has ordained that Sydney Sweeney regrettably pictured in this, because okay, for as much as I want to joke that she got a touch of the tism for those eyes doing all flumpy shit, she's a conventionally attractive chick. Okay, so is Isabela Merced, and at least Celeste O'Connor has appropriate hairstyle from the 2003 aesthetic that they were going for in the film. But I praised Sydney Sweeney earlier in the week, with her ability to just go ahead and make a joke out of it, not take herself too seriously. It's like, yeah, no, I got a big hit. That also helps as well, that she has one of the top 5 best performing films right now in the cinema, that she can go ahead and deflect from the failing that was Madam Web. I'm sure that also helps. But even still, like, there's been some stories, like, she's really rose to prominence off the back of this bomb, so I guess, did one good thing for people, well, 2 good things, but just showing that if celebrities, actors, performers in general don't take themselves too seriously, people are going to rally around them, even if they're kind of devoid of talent. Interestingly enough, they revealed, talking about all of the co-stars, that they had all sent messages to the actress, which she ended up seeing but not replying to them. Every single one of them? That's kind of crazy. They added that this exact same thing had happened through the 2-year-long filming of the Marvel film. Ooh, that's actually even worse than I thought. While it's safe to assume that the 3 actresses meant absolutely no harm with their comments, it's difficult to ignore the impoliteness on Johnson's part. Yeah, if you're all working together and if they're just reaching out, even if it's just vague platitudes, you can just go, hey, thanks, it was a pleasure working with you. Really, look forward to seeing you at the red carpet at the premiere. It's going to be great. Like, there's some people that you probably work with or have worked with in the past, and it's like, it's just kind of more of a chore to deal with them, but you do it anyways because, being polite and having good character is not so much for the benefit of other people, but it is for your own efficacy. Like, that's just not something that's ever been extended to, well, a certifiable Nepo baby in Dakota Johnson. This is what happens, man. Like, this is just shown on a much higher scale. When women never get told no in their entire life, this is the type of behavior that ends up manifesting. If she doesn't get her way on set, I'm sure it was a disaster. 2.5 years to film that pile, that's quite a bit. Okay, and I'm sure that it was tumultuous. Dakota's also said in interviews that the script changed multiple times after she signed on to the project. But something else that I talked about recently, and you had Ray Winston, who is the villain in the MCU's Black Widow, come out and say that it was a soul-destroying process. But did anybody have anything bad to say about Ray Winston while they were on set? Absolutely not. He was nothing but the consummate professional. But then, when you have somebody throwing a strop for not getting their way, I'm just, hey, I'm just thinking outside of the box on this one. She lashes out on her co-stars. That's interesting. I don't know if we have the full story on this, but if we're just to take this at face value, this is just another mark against Sydney Sweeney, against Dakota Johnson, and in favor of the other women that are on there. I hope that they all have great careers afterwards, and it looks like Dakota Johnson is kind of flushing out any goodwill that she could have mustered after the meme magic of this dilapidated film eventually wears off. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.